السلام عليكم ورحمة الله مرحبا شلونكم طيبين إن شاء الله يعطيكم العافية. So we are going to continue إن شاء الله نواصل على موضوع the quality. So we have covered the importance of quality characteristics, and I think so we have now good information or an idea about quality. Again, like you can see that how much time I took with quality definition, characteristics. I know this stuff could be covered in a shorter time, but again, it's all about mental shift, mindset. So you have a certain mindset that you're used to. For me to shift you within your mindset with different characteristics of quality, that is the real challenge that I have, rather than saying that I want you to memorize these characteristics. So the real challenge is how much I can make a mind shift towards the terms of quality. And again, the terms of quality is just a reflection of what is mainly what is good and what needs to continue to be good. Okay, so it's something that you're happy about as a customer, but something that continuously the producer can produce and maintain that service or maintain that quality of product to you. So that is generically about what does quality mean. Now, if you go to the definitions, and by the way, these definitions are usually given the first and second lecture. And you can see, like, after a few weeks, we are giving the definitions of quality control. And for me, as I said, it's all a process of convincing, إقناع. So I try to persuade you with many different concepts so that I can get to this definition here. And at the end of the day, you're not going to memorize anything because everything is going to be an open book, so you don't have any problem with that. Quality control refers to the operation activities put in place to control the quality of a product. Okay, so we're talking about operational activities. So that is one key word. This includes such activities as providing clear decisions and directions. So these operation activities have clear decisions and directions. So one thing to your mind comes now, if I want to control something, it's not only about now quality, but if I want to control something or control quality, I need to have what? I need to have activities. I need to have procedures. I need to have policies. I need to have decisions, directions. Okay, so these keywords, because control doesn't come alone, and it always comes with policies, procedures, direction. Direction means strategy, for example, where are you going, and so on. Supervision by experienced individuals, and every word here means something. So clear, it's not only decisions and directions, it's clear decisions and directions. It's not only supervision by experienced individuals, it's constant supervision. Okay, that means there's something in the process which has a continuous supervision. And it's not only by any individual, it's by experienced individual. Immediate review, it's not a review, it's an immediate review of not activities, the completed activities. My God, for accuracy and completeness. And documenting all the decisions. Of course, this is the second part of quality usually is that you document everything. You document everything. Yeah, let me continue, and then I'll give you the example how this applies. Quality control procedure should ensure that the work is done correctly the first time. So you need to do it right the first time. Essentially, QC, which is quality control, is what the project manager does to confirm that a QA activity or QA activities are effective and provide feedback upon which with further development of the QA activities can be made. Okay, so just confirming that the QA activities are applicable. So mainly we are talking about what? We are talking about this definition that starts from here and ends there. And let me apply this example to our families. all of us live within the family, right? And if you talk about the quality control in that family, societal family that we have, and you think about it of there is a control or there's no control. By control doesn't mean that we are holding people from their hands, but it means that I want to get to the final product and it is satisfactory and acceptable and so on. So what do you have at home? Do you have operational activities in place? Well, yes, there are activities in place to the time that we wake up, the time we go to sleep, the time, the permission we take before leaving home, for example, permission if you're going to be late. Sometimes it's not a permission if you are at a certain age, rather than it's an information, which is important. Because you cannot just stay late at home and everyone is thinking about you, صح? So there are activities. There's time for having lunch. There's time for having dinner. There's time for using TV. There's time to sleep at night. There's also an activity related to playing games for younger kids. So all of these are operational activities, right, in place to control the quality of my son, of quality of my product. What I'm trying to say that if you don't have these activities, you don't have the control. You can't live within a family without having operational activities. You can't live in a family without having policies, procedures, or a direction. Direction طبعا أكيد. And what do you want from your kid? To be a good kid or to be a bad kid? You need to decide. If you want to be a bad kid, this is the easiest job to do. Okay, so everyone was a good kid, right? And if you want a good kid, what if this is your direction? What you're going to do? And definitely your policies and procedures are going to serve your direction. Okay, and constant supervision. Imagine that you don't have supervision to your kids at all. So you put policies and procedures. Well, you're not allowed to play more than 3 hours of gaming at home per day, and then he plays for 4 or 5 hours. Supervision, عادي. You need to do your homework on time. Hello, come to supervision, عادي. That means like supervision, like the mom and dad, they don't know about their kids. So that is one thing, right? And now, if there's a constant supervision by mom and dad, are they experienced? You see, this constant supervision by experienced individuals, are they experienced or not experienced enough? If they are not experienced, that's a problem. And usually they come more experienced with the second and the third one. And sometimes the other way around. They are experienced, but with time, they started what? They started losing the immediate review of completed activities. So they used to review all activities of the first and second kid for accuracy, but the third and the fourth, خلاص, they're fed up of, they're taking things easy. So you can't see the accuracy and completeness with the third and the fourth one. So I just reflect this example very simply on a family and how to raise our kids within a family. And so definitely you need some kind of quality control activities so that you can manage a family. Of course, this applies to any organization. It's not only a family. Of course, I'm talking about here about business firms. Talking about short to medium enterprises, and they call them SMEs. Okay, short to medium enterprises, SMEs. This is a word that's just used. Most of the businesses in the world, in Bahrain or any other else, they are small to medium enterprises. They're not big enterprises. They're small to medium. And all of the shops that you see, restaurants, most of them are all small to medium enterprises. And talk about the small to medium enterprises. Now, do you have quality control in small to medium enterprises? Maybe you'll find it at a less level when you go to the smaller one, and it becomes higher when you go to the bigger one. So how much activities do you have? Operational activities. If you talk about just meats, for example, just meats is not medium, it's big. But if you talk about just meats, for example, they have operational activities in place to control the quality of the product? Yes, I think so. All of us agree with that. We always have the same product with the same quality. And these include such activities as providing clear decisions and directions. Are there clear decisions and directions? We don't know about the decisions, but it's very clear that there are clear direction of what they want to achieve in terms of quality of the product or in terms of income as well. The constant supervision, definitely there's constant supervision by experienced people, because you can see that the same sandwich we have at every shop, which is something good. Immediate review of the completed activities. I'm not sure about this one, which means that they meet every month, for example, and they review their activities, or maybe they meet every week as well, and they review their activities, and if they are doing good income, if the quality of the product is good. So they are looking at the accuracy of their activities, the accuracy of their quality control to maintain that product, and if it is complete or not. Do they have documentation? I'm also not sure, but I already know many people had done some kind of statistical analysis and some research from our students on JSMEs, and they had seen the documentations, and they had seen that there have very clear processes and details. And however, they were not that strong in the documentation part, but they are much better. And this is one of the reasons why they were late to do some kind of the franchising where they can have JSMEs in every part of the world. Okay, so that is quality control, and we already know the difference between quality control and quality assurance. And if you go to the history, when we started, we were talking about the history of the quality, and when we were talking about quality assurance, it came before after inspection, you remember? So inspection was mainly on the product, and quality assurance was still some kind around the product, and you started using statistical tools, but it did not look to the other processes with our organization. So still I have the product in place, I may look at the customer, but I'm not looking at the whole production line. And the whole production line inside the organization, that is where you have quality control. But then if you extend to outside the organization, this is where you have the total quality management. And that is what we have seen in the history part. So here, quality assurance, the definition refers to the certainty متأكد يعني that products and services meet the requirements of quality. It meets the requirements. So you're assuring that it meets the requirement. You're not controlling now with the activities. You're assuring that it meets the requirements. Meets the requirements, that means I had the details of the requirements. The water bottle has details of requirements, pH level of sodium, level of magnesium. So these are requirements. So I need to meet that requirement. The objective of quality assurance is the continual improvement of the total delivery process to enhance quality, productivity, and customer satisfaction. So you can see the words here, continual improvement. So I have a continuous improvement. By the way, quality, the key word that you'll always find for quality is continuous improvement. That is a key word, and you will always find it in any quality service. If you just want to see if there's quality in an organization, look at the continual improvement process. Here, because we're talking about quality assurance, so we are talking about in quality improvement and the quality, productivity, and customer satisfaction. Still in those areas, maybe not towards control, because there could be continued improvement in the quality control part. Essentially, quality assurance describes the process of enforcing quality standards. Now, what he's saying is that if I want to maintain quality, productivity, customer satisfaction, definitely I need to do quality control. Definitely I need to enforce quality standards. So when quality is well implemented, progressive improvement in terms of both reducing errors and emissions. Now, reducing errors and emissions could also be done through statistical tools. Okay, and that will be part of the methods that I'm going to use. So it's a well implemented progressive improvement. So it is well implemented progressive. How it is progressive? It is progressive in terms it removes errors, it removes omissions, it removes problems. So it's a continuous improvement in removing all the problems to have a really product with no errors and emissions. Hello, that means I'm going to have a good performance. Quality assurance should function as a voice for the customer. Again, customer satisfaction is a must. You assure everything so that you can achieve customer satisfaction. Very similar to the history when we started, we talked about the customer satisfaction in quality assurance. Now, and then of course you can see that quality assurance cannot be separated really from quality control, because quality control refers to the activities. Okay, activity taken to confirm that QA plan is effective. So if you want to make sure that QA plan is effective, quality assurance, everything meets the requirements, and everything meets the requirements of the customer and the requirements of the product. How do you ensure this? You ensure them through quality activity, through specific activities, which means quality control. The quality assurance is a comprehensive written plan and activities that documents the progress of the project design, for example, from initial planning through final plans. This is an additional definition where it started talking about comprehensive written plan for quality assurance. Even though that many people are against this definition, because they refer all the written plans, specific activities to what? To the quality control, and quality assurance is to concentrate more on the product. Wherever quality assurance and quality control go together. And at the end, you come to the quality management system, in which you have the whole process, not to look inside the organization, but you look at the whole organization, where you look at the supply chain. There are other terminologies. It's not that important, to be honest with you. It's not that important at all, through my experience. You can see it in books, where they add, instead of saying quality control only, they started saying quality control plan, just to concentrate on the strategic view of it. Okay, and people started adding plan to control just to cover the part that is related to quality assurance. So they don't want to talk about quality assurance. They started adding the word plan to control. So quality control plan is a comprehensive, well-defined written set of procedure and activities, نفس الشيء, aimed at delivering products that meet, they said, that meet customer expectations. So you see that it's adding something here that's related to quality assurance, as expressed, of course, in contract documents. When you talk about contract documents, that means you're talking about businesses that have contracts, which could be, for example, building homes. A quality control plan will identify that organization or individual responsible for quality control, everyone who's responsible, the specific procedures, and the documentation. So I'm not going to go through it again. So it's very similar to quality control. So that is quality control, and that is the quality assurance. So this is the way of how people look at quality. طبعا, quality had been changing. Today we are having different terminologies, or different ways, or different dimensions how we look at quality. Different dimensions of how we look at quality, yes. And these dimensions are different. And what you're seeing here is a different way of looking at quality. So what we learned so far, we were talking about quality assurance and quality control and quality management system, and we learned that through history, and we learned that through definitions, just to make sure that we have everything understood. After we had seen that through history and definition, we said that, wallah, the quality also, we went through the gurus. Went to the gurus of quality and see how much do they cover in quality assurance and quality control and quality MS. And you did that in the assignment where you compare with the seven quality management tools, principles. And by that you start to know what are the quality management principles, and how do they fit with the different gurus of Deming, Crosby, and Juran. And then we started saying, now we don't only want to look at principles like leadership, customer satisfaction, what else do we have? requirements, fit to purpose, continuous improvement. These are principles. These are principles. And then we said that we don't want to lose ourselves only in the principles, because these are principles, but there are simple understanding of quality related to quality characteristics. So we do not need to forget that. Going to the principles is important as continuous improvement. But talking about continuous improvement without understanding without the quality characteristics, what quality really means, that could be a problem. And this is where we were talking about reliability and availability and informative and so on. So that is why we cover the quality characteristics. Now we are going to cover what is quality in terms of looking at different dimensions. We already talked about it in some different ways, but it's good also to look at quality in many different directions. Quality of product versus quality of process. Just to make it interactive, I think so it would be interesting to make it interactive in this period. Just a second I want to reduce some kind of okay, I just want to reduce some صاير هني. Okay, it's because I have a lot of many tabs here and there, so I just want to reduce some tabs. And the reason I want to reduce some tabs is that my computer is telling me that I'm losing memory. And because of that, I don't want my computer to crash. I think so I have closed good enough. Okay, so hello, what is quality? أول شيء quality of product versus quality of process. It will be good now. I think so we have covered a lot of definitions and understanding. I would require if anyone from our audience, from our students, to answer what is quality of product versus quality of process. I'm waiting for an answer.
Shall we start?
ايه تفضل اذا عندك جواب قول.
Quality of product is like how the product is good with respect to the customer, how the customer wanted to be, and the quality of a process is how the process which will give this product is good and excellent enough to have the best quality for the product and the process as well. So if the process has a great quality, for sure the product will be great as well.
Okay, if I ask you in the exam, يعني أنا الحين قاعد أعطيكم examples of how things are in exam, huh? By the way, 3 of what you can see here came in the final last year. In the exam, I asked them to apply this. I'm going to change it, of course, in the final exam. I asked them to apply this to Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC. So how do you apply this, your definition or your answer now to KFC?
The quality of a product, how the burger and it's good for the customer and delicious and tasty with nice flavors, and the quality of the process, how fast the burger can be done and hot as well, so it will not be cold.
Hello. I like your answer. Just I need to fix some terminologies in both examples, and your definition and example. You said how good it is to the customer in terms of it is delicious, or in terms of his needs. I think instead of saying how good it is to the customer, it's how much it fits the needs of the customers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So the word fits, maybe it is the right word actually to be used.
And it's formal, yeah.
Hello. I like this. What about quality versus cost and delivery?
Me or you want another
Well, I'm
student?
waiting for someone else يعني because I have many students in class يعني.
Yeah, sure.
نبي نشوف يعني من اللي موجودين صاحيين ولا مو صاحيين.
دكتور انه كم بتكون يعني قيمة الكواليتي اللي بحصلها مقابل الفلوس اللي انا دفعتها؟
حلو، هذه بالنسبة quality versus cost.
ايه
وزين versus delivery.
دليفري، هو الدليفري بيعتبر ضمن الكوست، انه في مثلا بعضهم ياخذ توصيل فري وبعضهم ياخذ فلوس. ثاني شيء بعد الدليفري اذا يتاخر متى بيوصل الطلب، فممكن اذا بطلب يوصل لي بعد ساعة يكون خلاص ممكن راح الجوع اساسا. ف how fast is and if they take extra money for the delivery.
حلو حلو. to the ها تفضلي.
What do you mean exactly by delivery? Do you mean the way the final product is presented?
Hello. I like this. Actually, the word delivery here is how to deliver the product to the customer. It could mean delivering the product to home, and it also could mean how to present or deliver the product to the customer. So delivery could also mean that you're sitting at the restaurant and they bring the food to you and they deliver it to you, which part of it goes through presentation. Part of it, if you go to Turkish restaurants, for example, well, I've seen that in Turkey, a lot of what is delivered to you is and especially if you go to the restaurants where they use هذه الحركات الفire with and trying to break the salt that is around the chicken يعني. So they do a lot of delivery stuff in which you sometimes pay more just for the show and not and not only for the product itself. يعني اتفق معك. Okay, so I like the way you thought about it. يعني yes, the delivery has more than one dimension to think about it. And then the third one is difficult actually because I did not cover it. What is forward-looking quality and backward-looking quality? Can you guess? انزين
ممكن توقع مثلا توقع العميل شنو ممكن يطورون في المنتج مالهم، او انه يقارن مثلا نقول والله نفس الحين بعض المنتجات المحصل مثلا نبأنا شيء ياكل مثلا شيبس او شيء، يقول والله زمان كان طعمهم غير، الحين طعم الاكل عندكم صار مو حلو، ففي منتجات معينة. ممكن
hello. What you're talking about is feedback. اللي هو يختلف عن المصطلح هني اللي هو forward looking backward looking, but it was a good guess. Good guess. بس مو بصح.
Can I add to it?
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
In my opinion, like forward-looking, I'll start with backward-looking. Is like backtracking your actions and your process and looking for mistakes in order to improve it or fix it. And forward-looking will be like planning ahead and like making a straight, تمهد الطريق, you're making a path.
Wow.
So you can follow it. Okay. It's like planning for the future, while backward looking is like seeing what have you made and trying to improve it. Like that's what I think about it.
Hello, وايد حلو. عموما your definition is still different from what it means here, ولكن what you have mentioned is one of the ways of strategic management. It's maybe not related to quality, but it is related to strategic management, which is related to forward thinking and backward thinking. And if you read about it, what you have mentioned is really good However, that is related to strategic management. But I like how you can. I'm liking the way of your thinking, and even others. يعني في إبداع. There's creativity in how you're trying to get a definition or an answer out of something that I do not explain. I like it. يعني hello. You can search for it. Forward thinking and backward thinking. I like that. يعني hello. إنزين. So I think so. I need to explain now, يعني because it's not very clear. Let me go to the first part. أول شيء شنو كان عندنا quality product and quality of yes. So quality of product, quality of process you already explained. And I don't need to explain again. يعني ولكن if you talk about product, I will talk only about the product, and that means I'm going to talk only about the output. But if you're talking about quality of process, that means I need to see the whole process, which may include all the 4 M's: the man, machine, material, and method. So I need to look at the quality of everything within the process, which could mean any part of those 4. I need to look at the people who are working and the machines that I have and the materials that I'm buying, maybe for the burger or for the instrument, and the methods that you are using. Or it could be part of the process that you're doing analysis of your output. So I think so this is clear of comparison of quality of process and quality of product. Regarding quality, cost, and delivery, there is something called in quality the 3 major business factors. And sometimes they add to it and they make it 5, like 3 plus 2. But the main 3 major business factors is quality, cost, and delivery. Okay, quality, cost, and delivery. And by the way, I brought this in the final exam, and I'm going to bring it again. I'm saying it. However, it's going to be in a different example. Every time I just change the example. So again, it's talking about the quality of the product and the quality of the service. You're talking about the cost of the product or the cost of the service. You're talking about the delivery of the product or the delivery of the service. Okay, so these are the 3 major business factors. And sometimes what happens when I ask the students, tell them, explain to me the 3 major business factors in terms of a rental, car rental shop. Car rental shop يعني very similar to شو اسمهم ذلين budget وما شو اسمهم who rent a car, okay, who rent the car for you. So you go and rent a car, and then how do you will apply the 3 major business factors? Sometimes students forget what do we mean by 3 major business factors. So they forget that we mean by that quality, cost, and delivery. Even though that if it is an open book, sometimes they also forget that it means that. So you need to remember that it is quality, cost, and delivery. And then you're going to talk about the quality of the car. Again, always think about service and product. So you're talking about the quality of the car, you're talking about the cost of the rental, you're talking about the delivery of that car. And delivery of that car, which could be related to service. Okay, you can talk about then the quality of the service itself, which means how fast you're receiving that car, other than the delivery, which means that they could bring it to your hotel rather than you take it from the airport. مثلا, I'm just giving examples. And I think so this is a good idea. I don't know why they don't do it. And bring it to your hotel, I think so is a very good idea. But of course, they don't do this because imagine that everyone is sitting in a different hotel in a different location, and not in Bahrain. I'm talking about places where one location is many hours from another location. So so delivery is going to be a serious issue, and you may have accidents on the way, which means that you may also lose a lot of money in the process of your delivery. So my idea, I don't think so is good. I just mentioned it and I threw it away. So these are the 3 major business factors: quality, cost, delivery, and then they add safety and environment. Okay, so they add safety and environment sometimes to it. And again, safety is to do with if your car is safe, for example, or if you're talking about burgers, if it mentions, for example, شو يسمونه the calories, number of calories, just to reflect part of it is safe or not. Because sometimes if you mention that, and just means, for example, they do that on their box, just to reflect part of the safety thing to your body. So it is safe. And sometimes they tell you that it is already 700 calories or something. So it has much higher, more calories. It's like, I like the Ultimate Organic Burger. And actually, the Ultimate Organic Burger has more calories than the fried cheeky chicken thing, يعني. So the fried cheeky thing, which sounds like fried and chicken, it has much less calories, يعني, than about 250 calories less, 500 تقريبا. And the Ultimate Organics has 750. And it is called organic, ya Rabbi. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that you can see that it just reflects an information which is part of quality, but يعني sometimes adding an information is not always good. It's good, but يعني it's all part of business. يعني you need to think about it. It's like my friend, he opened a shop. He's a professor with us, يعني معنا في chemical engineering. So he opened a shop. Selling something نسيت شو يسمونه. It's at the end of the day they're selling sweets, okay, sweets, cakes, sweets. It's American style, and when we went to his shop, of course, and it was very tasty. And then we asked him about the number of calories and do you think about adding this information? He said, come on, this will keep me out of business. And because there's a lot of inputs of sugar and so on. Environment, when they always mention environment, remember that it's not only environment. I mean, not the air environment only, not the water environment. So it's not only that, it's also the society. So environment covers everything around you, okay, covers everything around you. So these are the quality business factors, So when I say the 3 major business factors, I will tell you the question exam. Please apply the 3 major business factors on a car rental shop. Mention 1 example for each of the business factors. I want 1 example of Q and 1 example of C, 1 example of D. And then I mention, are there other business factors that you need to consider? And when I say are there any, I mean safety and environment. So you say yes. And then I will say, please provide me an example of the other business factors. And then you're going to provide an example of safety and environment. And this has 5 marks out of CHEM, 5 marks out of I think so. It was out of 80 the exam. نسيت out of CHEMCon. Okay, so that's one part of it. So let's cover by the end of the lecture today what we did not cover yet. We talked about the forward-looking quality and backward-looking quality. Okay, so the forward-looking quality is looking at the things that satisfies you, and the backward-looking quality looks at the things that dissatisfies you. Sometimes you market your product by looking at the items that satisfies, or the elements that satisfy the customer. يعني we give example. It's always very clear with examples. So you could talk about the car, that it is easy driving, stability at high speed. When you're going to buy a car, stability at a high speed is very important. When you do a test drive, and one of the things that you look at is that you don't want to go at high speed and then it starts vibrating, and you want stability at high speed. Okay, so that's one of the things. So you market now for your product and say that it is easy driving, stability, deluxe feeling, comfortable riding. A lot of things that especially looks at the human sense perceptions, but they look at the forward-looking part. Looking at the things which are dissatisfying, that means no defectives, no flaws, no failures, no scratches. Fine. If you're going to sell a car, you will not talk about backward-looking quality, صح? It doesn't make sense to talk about a new car. But maybe if you're talking about a rental car, maybe you want to mention that that our history of this car is for example, 0 defectives within 1 year. And you're mentioning that you may have defects if it is more than 1 year, but there are no defects at all within 1 year. There are no failures within 1 year, and that reflects what? That reflects something else in your head when you buy or rent a car, that you want something that's easy driving, because it is a rental car, you have in your mind that there could be a defect, it could stop in the way. What will happen? Because you have this thing into your mind, backward-looking quality, it will help to cover that aspect in your mind, to catch you as a customer and satisfy your needs. Okay, so sometimes it's good if you are going to market for the quality of the product or quality of the service, you look at the forward and the backward, about the advantages, not advantages, about the good thing, and the satisfactory parts about the product, or the dissatisfactory parts. I'm sitting on a chair now, so I could talk about a comfortable chair, or I could talk about chair that does not cause any pain. And sometimes you look at there are some kind of adverts you always see on TV, especially there are some channels, Egyptian channels, I remember, they had a lot of this ads, and in the ads, what do they say? They give you the satisfactory part of a product. Satisfactory part, that means for example, using a shampoo, using a shampoo, and while using the shampoo, you have long hair in 1 day. I don't know how this happens. And the dissatisfactory part of it, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. And the dissatisfactory part of it is that when you put if you don't put a shampoo on your head, you're going to become bald. راح تكون أقرع. Okay, within few days. So what they're trying to tell you, that if you don't use our shampoo and use any other shampoo in the world, you're going to be bald. But if you're going to use our shampoo, you're going to have very long hair. But I don't know why for a man he needs a long hair, but this is how they say it. القصد is that you always can market using the satisfactory look or the dissatisfactory look of quality, which we refer to as forward-looking quality and the backward-looking quality. Now, again, this was another question within the final exam last year, where I asked the students to apply the forward-looking quality and the backward-looking quality to a rental. I can't remember what, I'm just mentioning, rental car shop. Or, for example, mobile phones, mobile shop. Okay. La ilaha illallah. Okay, so talking about the mobile shop, so the mobile shop can have also talk about a very good quality of product that is easy to use, very stable. You can jump from one place to another. You never have glitches. You see how I'm shifting my way of marketing for my product. You never have glitches like other mobile phones. You can open more than one window at a time without having a sticky or not sticky. Again, glitches. The word glitches comes to my mind, and it doesn't get stuck, and so on. Sometimes the forward-looking quality is referred to as attractive quality, the things that attract you. And sometimes backward-looking quality is referred to as natural quality. Okay, I'm not worried about these two words because the forward-looking and the backward-looking are much more popular to use. That's it for today. Do you have any questions? Mahmoud, yes, يعني, for the question you asked, yes, we can use them as a tool for troubleshooting. يعني, definitely. You can use them for troubleshooting. يعني فهمت قصدك بالtroubleshooting. فهمت قصدك. Yes. The answer is yes. You can use it. It's a good way of using to find out the good and the bad part of your product. Yes, تفضلي.
Doctor, also the first point it was, I think, equality on product and process. Can we relate them to the first or second lecture we took, which is about inspecting the whole path or inspecting the final product?
Yes. We can relate that to the history. I totally agree with you. What I need to tell you is that, you know, that history is moving, and now we are looking at history, and we know what is happening at those days. At those days, people who were living at that time, they're going to be talking about us the same way many years after. So those people who were living at that time, they tried to do, they tried to put definitions, or they tried to develop quality. The people who came after them, they started putting definitions for quality. And those definitions, some people called it quality assurance, some people called it quality control, and some people call it quality management. With time, it became clearer through research and application what exactly we mean by quality assurance and quality control. But initially, when it started as quality characteristics, quality aspects, continuous improvement, principles. Leadership is very important. So it started as principles and quality characteristics, but there was no exact definitions in it. But with time, it started formalizing. Now coming to our life now, everything had been in place already. Okay, and the definitions are khalas in place. Now there could be someone who comes with a new definition of how to market for quality. So you may come up with a new definition and say, wallah, you understand quality in a wrong way. I'm going to fix the way of how you think about it. And I have an example of that. Last year we were discussing about quality in higher education. It does not mean accreditation. It does not mean confidence. It means recognition. Okay, and we had a lot of discussions about that, because you are talking about a definition for the whole world. And me, myself, as an expert, do I accept this definition or not? And the time is up. There's no time to talk about if I accept it or not. But what I'm trying to say is that what you have mentioned about quality of process, can we relate it to history? The answer is definitely yes. You can come up with any new idea or any new definition as well. You have the whole authority and the full freedom to do that. There's no one who's better than you who can do that. Everyone who did it before you, they were just courage enough and knowledge enough to do it. And I'm sure that you can do it. If you already started thinking about how applying different definitions of quality together, and if you gave me the answer of delivery, Musa'a, I think so you have a good quality mindset, and I'm just seeing something good that you can use in future. يعطيكم العافية. Sorry if my answers are too long. It's because my head works like that. It is good and it is bad. أنا أرى عيب أحيانا وأحيانا هو شيء زين. يعطيكم العافية. شكرا جزيلا ونشوفكم على خير. مع السلامة.
Thank you.